For our next Photo P project, we are going to be creating a similar view to an old iPod ad. So iPods came out in the early 2000s and were before iPhones and iPads. It was sort of the first thing that Apple came out with, and it was a way to hold a lot of music in the palm of your hand. So prior to that, it was not, you couldn't do it. So it was kind of a big deal, and they created these ads that were based on a thing called pop art, and they were black silhouettes on top of a bright colored background. So they had various ads throughout the years that were following this same idea of the solid black silhouette and the bright background. This was all based on a pop art genre of art that was originated by a man named Andy Warhol. And he did the four color squares, the same or similar images in all four colors. And then he used a lot of different pop art colors in them. So we're not going to do something like this for this. This is a little bit ambitious. We're just going to do it with the black solid silhouettes. But these are just to kind of give you some ideas of what pop art looked like at the time. Okay, so we're going to be creating something more like these. Okay, so see, these are some of the examples from class last year to give you a better idea. The item that was chosen, the pictures that were chosen, all related to each other in some way, but were something that could very easily have the background taken away from the photo and could leave you with just that image. So that's what we're going to be working on today. We're first going to take the image. We're going to remove the background. We're going to then turn the image into a solid black with what's left. And then we're going to put them into these squares so that they all fit together as a square. Okay, so you can see some of these, how they did them last year. Oops, that does not belong there. Animals, and that was, something that feline, those are all different cats. Okay, so this just kind of gives you an idea of the sort of thing we're going to be working on for this year. Here's another one that I really liked with Pokemon images in it. This student chose animals, and the animals came out very, very solid and very crisp in their images when they got rid of their background. This student did SpongeBob characters and chose 4 different SpongeBob images. I'm going to start my search in Google and decide what I want my topic to be. I think my topic is going to be Disney characters because I know that Ms. Elliott and I both like Disney a lot. Ms. Elliott a lot more than I do. So I'm going to search first for Mickey. And click on images. Then I want to kind of make my search a little easier to make sure I'm getting the right kind of image. So I'm going to change my tools and my color to transparent. And that gets rid of all of the ones that have a colored background. I'm going to look for an image that I like. I want to use this one. Right click, copy image, open a new tab, and go to Photo Key, new project, name my new project, which is iPod ad. Remember that when you open a new project based off of something that you've copied, Photo P will make the size the same size as that image. But I want to make sure that my image is a square. Right now it's a rectangle. So I'm going to take the larger of these two numbers and I'm going to change this, make the other one match it. So I'm going to make them both 1068. 1068 is my larger number. So I want them both to be 1068. That will make it a square. Click create and paste my Mickey in there. To make it a little easier to see, I'm going to turn off my background because I want to make sure that the image that I pulled in truly was truly was transparent. So all I'm seeing are this little crosshatch grid. So that's telling me it was a transparent image. Now I need to select Mickey. So I'm going to come over here to the fourth tool down, 4, which is the object selection tool, and choose the magic wand. So what the magic wand does is it will choose, if I were to click the magic wand on the yellow, it will choose everything as long as it stays with that edge. Okay, it'll stay that. Now I've got all that yellow selected. I could delete it if I wanted to. If I wanted to delete the beige of his face, I could click on his face and then hit delete. So it's looking for things that are the same color value. I don't want to do that. I need him to have his shoes and his face. I'm going to click off of Mickey, and that's going to choose everything that's not colored, all of my stuff that's transparent. But the thing with the magic wand is it can only go to pixels, which is what digital art is made up of, pixels that are connected. So I've got these little spaces down here. They're not connected. So in order to get them included, I'm going to hold the shift key down. And then now they are all connected together. But I don't want to choose my background. I want to choose Mickey. So I need to invert my image, my selection. So I'm going to go to selection, inverse, and now everything is, all of Mickey is chosen, but none of Mickey's background is chosen. The next step that I need to do, I'm going to create a new layer. So I'm going to go to layer, new layer. I need to turn Mickey solid black. So I'll change my color here to black. Remember, if black is not one of your choices here, which it should be, the hex code is 000, or you can change the red, green, and blue values to 000, or you can pull your little cursor guy all the way into the corner. All of those will get you straight to black. And click OK. Come back to my gradient tool and turn that into my paint bucket tool. This is the new layer I just created. There's nothing on it. I'm going to paint bucket, drop that paint on top of Mickey. And now he is solid black. So I don't need this layer anymore that has Mickey colored on it. So I'm going to come over here in my layers palette, make sure layer 1 is chosen, and then come down here to the bottom and click on the trash can. And that will delete that layer. Oh, because he's selected. Okay, so you'll know, I don't know if you guys can see it on your computer or not. I can only see it at a certain light, but there's still an image of Mickey kind of on my screen. That's just because it was selected before. If I go to select, deselect, that goes away. So now I have Mickey's black layer. I'm going to call that Mickey. I'm going to call it Mickey Black. I need to create a Mickey colored layer. So I'm going to go to layer, new layer, choose a color that I want to have around Mickey, and I'm going to do, I don't know what I want. I'm going to do red. And click OK. Come back to my paint layer and drop the paint on top of that. And when I turn Mickey back on, you can't see Mickey anymore because he's underneath my first layer. So I need to move him above my layer 1. I'm just going to click and drag him and move him up. And now he's on top. And I'm going to change layer 1's color to Mickey red. Okay, so I want to add some text to this. I'm going to click on my text tool. I'm not going to change my font. You can if you want to. I am, however, going to change my size and make it about somewhere in the 60 range. And come over here and type my title of this layer, which is iMickey. I can move that if I want to. Actually, I think I want it to go a little bit bigger. Again, it's going to kind of depend on the font you choose, depends on a lot of stuff. And tuck it somewhere where it's kind of there. So now I've got Mickey. Over here, I have my Mickey black layer, I have my iMickey text layer, and I have my Mickey red solid color layer. Now I need to go back to Google. Coming back to Google, Now I need to figure out who I'm going to get next. I'm going to get Minnie next. And I'm still on transparent, so I'm not getting anything with a background. And I want to use this one for Minnie. Right click on her and copy the image. Come back to photo key. And I'm going to paste my Minnie image. Now you'll notice that it created a new layer in the middle of my Mickeys, which I don't want. It needs to go up top. But you'll also notice that she's too small. But first I want to turn off all my Mickey layers. That way I can see just how, I just want to see her. Okay, so and then I'm going to edit, free transform, which we've done a lot. I'm going to resize her and I'm going to make sure that I hold the shift key down while I drag the edge of it until I get her a good size, and then move her somewhere interesting. Okay, so now I have Minnie. Just like I did before, I'm going to go to my magic wand, select outside of Minnie, select inverse, layer, new layer, change my color back to black, grab my paint bucket, and drop that on top of Minnie. Now I have a Minnie black layer. So I'm going to name it Minnie Black. Now that I have Minnie Black, I don't need my Minnie layer from before, so I can click on it and either right click and delete the layer, or click on it and choose my trash can from the bottom. I need a colored layer, so I'm going to go to Layer, New Layer. And I'm going to notice this one actually put it below Minnie, which is where I want it. And I don't know what color I'm going to choose Minnie yet, so I'm just going to leave it Minnie color. I think I'll put in a blue. I'll just do a bright blue. I'm probably going to end up changing these colors, but I don't know yet. And I'm going to paint bucket that. Forgot a step. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not. Let me turn Minnie off so you can see it. When I paint bucketed that layer, it turned Minnie black. I don't want Minnie black. I want everything else black because I forgot to deselect. Okay, so I'm going to go to Selection, Deselect, and now I can drop my painted layer in there, and it's all going to be good again. Undo is your best friend. Don't ever forget that. So now I have Minnie Black, and I need my Minnie text. So Minnie text is going to go up here, and she's going to be iMinnie. And I'm going to move her down just a little. Okay, so now I've got Mickey, I've got Minnie. I have to go get two more. I'm going to go back to Google, find my fourth image, which is going to be Donald Duck, not the other Donald. And I'm going to see if I can find an image that I like for this one. I really like this one here. Right click on here and copy him. Photo P again. Turn off my Minnie little girl. Paste Donald. Donald is just a little small, so let's make him a little bit bigger. Holding my shift key down. Remember, if I don't hold my shift key down, when I go to transform him, he can get funny. That's not how Donald looks. And that's not how Donald looks. So I want to make sure that I'm using my shift key when I transform it so that he stays Donald, doesn't get all funny looking. Magic wand, all around him, select inverse, layer, new layer, color to black, paint bucket, drop it in Donald. Okay. Donald that is colored can go away. Now I need to put another new layer, new layer. And I've already noticed that something's going wrong over with my layer palettes. I'm going to show it to you guys in just a second. I want this one to be yellow, so I'm going to give him a yellow background and paint bucket yellow on him. Oops, forgot to deselect again. Select, deselect, now paint him. Now, I've got mini turned off. So when I turn mini back on, I've got my layers over here all messed up. This is my Donald layer, Donald black. This is my Donald color. But I've got them in the middle of my mini layers. That's not going to work. I'm just going to grab Minnie and pull her down where she belongs. Then I can turn her back off. We're eventually going to put all these together. Today, this is the first step, so we're just going to see how far we get today with this image. So now I've got Donald color. I need Donald text. He is Donald. Move him somewhere. Click OK. I need to get one more, so I'm going to head back to Google. And to fill out our quad of Disney's, I'm going to find a goofy one. I like this goofy one. So I'm going to copy him. Bring him back to Photo P. I'm going to turn off all my Donalds and paste my Goofy. Now, Goofy's actually a little too big. So if I edit, free transform him, I can actually make him a little small. See how he overhangs the edge down here? So I'm going to hold my Shift key down and move him, make him just a little smaller because I want him over on this side. I really like one of those other ones on the other side, but they don't seem to want to go real well. Okay, so I've got my Donald. I'm going to select around Donald. Now remember, I need to get this little spot inside his arm too when I do my selection. So I'm going to hold my Shift and my Select, and I'm going to go to Select, Inverse, Layer, New Layer. Change my color to black. My paint bucket on top of Goofy. Okay. Then I'm going to go to Select, Deselect. Only took me 4 tries to figure that out. And then I don't need my colored Donald anymore, so I can make it go away. I need a new layer, new layer for my color. This one's going to be green because why not? I'm going to paint bucket the green on there and add my text. Goofy. Figure out where I want Goofy to live. Goofy can live over here. And I now have all of my images. Okay, so here's our next thing. Remember at any time, if class ends, to save your image, and then we'll load it up again next time. So, we're going to go image, canvas size. So this whole thing right here is your canvas. We want to make our canvas bigger so we can move some of these things around. So I'm going to change my canvas size. I'm going to click on this pixels and change it to percentage. So I want to change my percentage. I want it to stay a square. So I'm going to change and click this little keep aspect ratio button. And then whatever number I type in here, it's automatically going to make the other one the same thing. Okay. So I'm going to change this number to 200. I want to take my image and I want to make it twice as big. Anchor is where it's going to put the extra canvas. So right now it's saying I want the stuff that we've currently made to stay in the middle, but I don't. I want it to go in a corner. So I'm going to click the top left corner. So I've got 200% in this top left corner, and I'm going to click OK. Now you'll notice that my canvas size has doubled, and everything is up here in this upper corner. So I want to move Goofy. I'm going to put Goofy down here. So I'm going to click on my Goofy Black, my iGoofy, and my Goofy color. I'm going to click on the first one of those three, and I'm going to click on the last one of those three. So that's all of my Goofies together. Then I'm going to click on my Move tool, which is over here, and click on them and move them into the bottom corner. Sorry, I had a moment of where's everything else? And then I realized I had turned everything else off. So let's turn everything else back on. Okay, remember, this is the little visual eye. If you turn it on and off, toggle back and forth, it makes things disappear. So now I've got Goofy where I want him. Now I need to move Donald where I want him. I actually think I want Donald to stay. Well, no, I don't. I'm going to move Donald. So I'm going to click on the first of my Donalds, and I'm going to click Shift and then click on the last of my Donalds. Where did that not go? And it's going to select all of my Donalds, and then I can move him where I want him. Make sure I'm on my Move tool. And you'll notice that when I get near the bottom, he kind of snaps to where he wants to be. And I have to work a little harder to get him to move. Okay? So now I need to move Minnie. I'm going to take Minnie Black, Minnie, and the Minnie color. Shift click on all three of those so they're all selected. And move her over until she's in that corner. And then I've got all four of my things on there. And we're done.